Today we are going to look at UN closed maritime zones. So this is United Nations Convention on Laws of the Sea. So this is the only international convention which stipulates a framework which put forward as framework that is for state jurisdiction in maritime space, which means in seas and ocean, what kind of territory that the country is having control over. All these things will be mentioned in this. And the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Seas has divided marine areas into 5 main zones. Which are those 5 main zones? One is international waters, second territorial sea, contiguous zone, exclusive economic zone, and high seas. So we'll look at that one by one. So firstly, those land that is located inside, for example, lakes, rivers, or ports, all these things will be like internal waters. It is considered as internal waters. So here, the countries will be having absolute power. This will be territorial sea, that is about 12 nautical miles, which will be roughly around 22 kilometers. It will be belonging to the territorial sea. And from here to here, 24 nautical miles, this will be contiguous zone. And from after that, up to 200 nautical miles, it will be exclusive economic zone. And the space beyond that will be known as high seas. So we'll look at it one by one. Firstly, the internal waters. So waters on the landward side of the country. Here the countries will be having full sovereignty, which means all bays, ports, inlets, rivers, lakes. So here, other countries are not supposed to get inside without any permission. Second one is territorial sea, that is 12 nautical miles, up to 12 nautical miles from the baseline, that is from the coastline. And the territorial sea extends seaward up to 12 nautical miles. And here, if you see 12 nautical miles, it will be 22 kilometers around, because 1 nautical mile will be around 1.85 kilometer, and one nautical mile is calculated as per it is equal to 1 minute of latitude. The coastal states have sovereignty and jurisdiction of the territorial sea, but that doesn't mean that other ships cannot enter this water. Any peaceful passage of any other ships, including military vessels, are allowed. So next one is contiguous zone. So here the contiguous zone extends seaward up to 24 nautical miles from the baseline. So it is an intermediary zone between the territorial sea and the high seas. And the state has the right to prevent and punish infringement of physical, immigration, sanitary, and customary laws. So the customs laws. So these laws are applicable until the contiguous zone. Next is exclusive economic zone. So this is up to 200 nautical miles, and each coastal state may claim an EEZ beyond territorial sea that extends seaward up to 200 nautical miles. And within this area, the state has exclusive right to explore, exploit, conserve, and manage natural resources, whether living or non-living, of the seabed and subsoil. That is the seabed and subsoil. So when you say seabed and subsoil, it is having rights over this area, and it is not for airspace. Airspace is there is no rights. So only until the territorial sea, up to where the territorial sea extends, that's up to 12 nautical miles here, national airspace is considered. So next is the high seas, which is the area beyond the EEZ, that is the exclusive economic zone. So that is referred as high seas. So it is called the common heritage of all mankind. Any kind of activities is permitted there until it's peaceful. So it is beyond any national jurisdiction. No nations, no states have any jurisdiction over this area. And the states can conduct activities in these areas as long as they are for peaceful purpose, such as transit, marine science, and undersea explorations. So that's all about it. For more such videos, do subscribe to our YouTube channel and do visit our website to know more about the course structure that we provide. And you can get a lot of content if you visit our website, or you can follow us on Instagram or join our Telegram channel to get constant updates. Thank you.